I put on... Oh, come on. I put on the mask before they got there. Hey there, and welcome back to Swing Shift at Farley's Juniors, where we pretty much have one more thing to do, which is take on Custom Night. I'm curious to see how this is gonna go. Golden Touch. Honestly. I mean... what is there to say? My biggest concern is probably gonna be Midas, because I mess up way too many times with Midas, at least on night 6. And that I think that's gonna be my biggest issue. Hopefully we can get some more death mini games because we are missing some of those. I think we're missing the one for the puppet, withered basil. I'm not quite sure who else I'm missing. And there's also another death mini game I want to revisit because they have a specific detail with the calendar that I have to look into. But I guess that depends on how this goes. If anything, if we somehow manage to beat this super easily, obviously, totally not being any form of overzealous here, then maybe I can just try and like farm deaths until I get the death mini games. Okay, I actually did not realize these two are already here. I missed the click again, but we got a death mini game, so I'll take it. New one. A crying child. Ooh, this might be, remember, we did hear from another death mini game that's, something happened to the CEO's, kid, right? And I'm guessing this is what's being portrayed here. Florence! So, that was another character I forgot. I was trying to figure out who possessed Florence. Terrence Martinez. So it is the CEO is Martinez, and we know that something happened to his son in the death mini game for Crystal Jones. She visited Mr. Martinez and was curious about his son, and he let her in and then gets killed. And it seems like now we know that Terrence already was dead, and so they ended up occupying the same body since they both, you know, he had easy access to both of them compared to everyone else. So that pretty much now means that we're missing... I don't know if the Mangle is necessarily being possessed. Maybe that's a death mini game we're not seeing. I think the Marionette has a death mini game for sure because they literally have a, well, it looks like a very ghastly face under that mask. And then I would say, yeah, withered basil... but wait, I can't remember how I'm saying it. And then I don't know if Midas even has someone that's possessing it, because this could be literally the manifestation of a spirit as it is. Or well, actually no, I guess, well, there would still be a missing person with it. I guess the question is who. But yeah, pretty much this is the only thing we have left, and then give my thoughts on the game, and then we concluded there, whether I actually beat it or not, of course. I did not know they would be there already.
Hello? Hi. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I need my batteries.
Your step in the heart of madness.
It's on. I gotta find Puppet. Oh, Puppet. Oh. Okay. Oh, we got this one again. This is the one that I needed to find the calendar. So this is this is the spirit that gets possessed by Whitney, I think. I gotta look for a calendar though. So in this case, who are we? Are we trying to think about who are we in this case. Okay, so I went to the right. I didn't even think about going to the left. April 23rd? Oh. Out in the rain. Phone call. My guess is she gets lured away. Oh, come on. How do you just let her run off? You don't let go of your child in the dark and rain like that. Yeah, now she's like, oh, where'd she go? The puppet. There you go. So now we learned about the puppet's origins. So if we go now to animatronics. Huh. Brilliant husband and daughter, both of which were taken from her way too soon. Light of God with her husband. So are they saying, wait, so the question, who, both of which were taken from her too soon. Brilliant husband and had a daughter, both, so husband and daughter were taken away. Huh. So, this is clearly the mother. So, I'm trying to think now. What? Does that pertain, is that related to anyone here? I don't think so, because I don't think, I mean, unless it says had a son and daughter, and in which case that could relate to this, but I don't think that makes too much sense. Obviously, doesn't really apply here. The only child that was out in the rain, though, was Edgar. And it's clearly that she had a daughter with him. I mean, with her. Okay. Well, to the person that told me about the calendar, thank you. We got some, we actually learned about the puppet's origins there. Shoot. Oh, I didn't even know you were there.
I would like you to meet okay?
My milkshakes and my sundaes and my cones are
I would like you to meet some of my other friends. Okay? I would like you to meet some of my other friends, too.
Hello.
I don't know if, oh boy. Wait, there you are.
Be sure your step.
Yeah, had a feeling. That is intense. I mean, clearly, the Candy Cadet must also be possessed, right? That's such a specific jump scare. Still, we actually got to 2 a.m., which is honestly better than I expected to do, honestly. The withered ones are so dangerous because they attack so often. And I have to be super careful with the puppet, because if I'm not careful, the puppet's gonna get me really badly.
Yes, you can.
Oh, you took my mask, you bum. I can't, okay, the flash, okay, no, never mind. One thing I will say, having the flashing occur on camera as well is probably not the greatest idea, just because, like, in that sense, if something like that happens, it's pretty much game over. There's no way you're finding her with the flashing lights like that, especially because they're pretty harsh on the eyes. Puppet.
my milkshakes and my sundaes and my cones are such a treat. For myself.
That was close.
I'm going to some rock, sister, and I'm going to some... I would like you to meet you and I, big friend.
Bye-bye.
Find the key.
I need to find a battery. Hold on. Oh, I forgot about Midas. One thing I didn't even mention that I did notice is that I'm pretty sure the puppet moves multiple times before getting to your office. Like, I noticed, I think I noticed anyway, like, they'll move cameras one time, and then I think they'll move again. I think if they go 3 cameras without getting music, then they get you. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like I've heard them move multiple times by now. I got a bit lucky there.
I would like you to meet, okay? Can you and I be friends?
Oh my god.
Okay? Can you and I would like you to meet. I don't have lots of free time.
I didn't know you were there. Oh, you're not. You're cheating. Oh my. Oh. Jesus.
Bye-bye. Hey.
Put on the mask. Oh, that's not good.
Hello.
Into my voice.
My milkshake and my sundaes and my cones are such a treat.
Hi. Bye-bye.
Not great, but
I would like you to meet. Okay?
Hey. Ask me if you can.
oh, I didn't realize you were there. Shoot. Not good.
Bye-bye.
Damn it! See, just because of the mask, man. Just because of the mask.
Hey.
Okay?
Bye-bye.
I'm going to some fun. I would like you to meet.
Oh, damn it. I didn't know they were there. Here we go. Oh right. I'm sorry about Toby. Whoever this is someone else. The thing is, now I don't think could Toby It implies there's another kid that he has. The question is, are they sorry because they died or did something else happen? Because Terrence, we know, dead. But maybe Toby's the older sibling that was in that drawing death minigame. Or death cutscene, I guess, in this case. But here, Terrence is still alive. So, well, no, Terrence would be on the hospital bed type apparatus.
Bye-bye.
Oh my god. Of course, no, oh my god. That's so, like, every time I die because of that, like, it's gonna, like, just chip away at me. Oh, come on, I didn't mean to put on the mask. Oh. I thought I was gonna pull up the bloody thing. Damn it. See what I mean? Ah, bloody hell, man.
I want you to meet a new one. I'm going to have lots of good times together.
Oh, what the hell?
Bye-bye.
Oh, they're okay. They keep bugging out, but not like cutting off the audio cue, so it keeps make me freak out.
I want you to meet. Okay.
I put on, oh come on, I put on the mask before they got there. But that's gonna be it for custom night. Unfortunately, I could not get through Golden Touch. I think the farthest I may have gotten was definitely 3 AM. I don't know if I got close to 4 AM or if I even managed to reach it, but that was rough. And honestly, the biggest problem for me was Midas, I would have to say. One way or another, dealing with Midas, either it was them getting me because I didn't do their mechanic, or doing their mechanic caused me to die to someone else. I don't know how to explain. I mean, in general, very tough. I don't have a problem with any of the mechanics except for Midas, personally. I think it would just be a lot simpler, or not simpler, I don't think it's the right word, but like, I just hate that with Midas, because he's so much to the left, you have to subconsciously make yourself always look to the left and then do the cameras. It feels awkward. Because it's either you always look at the left, you know, one way or another, which feels awkward, or you force yourself to constantly be like, okay, take down the camera, and then look to the left, and it's like, I don't know, I just hate that. It's something weird about him being positioned to the left when you can't see the whole office, right? So you have to visually move your point of view towards the left to actually see him, and there's just something about that that just feels awkward to me. It just doesn't, I'm not a big fan of it, I guess. But with that said, my thoughts on the game. Obviously from a narrative standpoint, we got a lot more information. From a narrative standpoint, things get very interesting because obviously we learned about the CEO of what I believe is Farley's. I'm not entirely sure because that part kind of like went really quickly. They're not the CEO of the mall. I think they have to be the Farley CEO, Mr. Martinez. And we know that he's claimed the lives of multiple children so far, and possibly this woman who is possessing the marionette. Now, at first I was considering the idea that the marionette, this mother here, was wife to Mr. Martinez, but I don't think that's true because based off the death minigame we saw for Terrence, it seems like Terrence has an older brother and that's about it. Whereas here, it says brilliant husband and has a daughter. Now, either this is saying that the mother had a husband and daughter taken away from her, or she had another child besides her daughter who were both taken away from her. Either way, both of them imply that she does not have any familial relation to Martinez, either, you know, married or related in general. This has to be someone else. Now, because of the fact that you mentioned his brilliant husband, it makes me wonder if she is somehow related to, or if this husband is related to Martinez in terms of like the business. Is this a co-founder of sorts? As for the other children, I wasn't able to tell if her child, her daughter, who goes missing in the death minigame that we saw, who does she possess, if she possesses anyone? Because we know it's not Garrett. Garrett was the one that got kidnapped, so definitely doesn't apply to him. We have Withered Basil. This is the only one that we have not gotten a death minigame for, despite how many times I died in custom night, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to show that. I might try getting the cutscene a few more times, see if I can somehow get it, and if I don't get it, then so be it. Obviously, we have Wither Charlie with Susie and Edgar Rosa. Susie goes on to possess Charlie, and Edgar goes on to possess Dominic, who I think was used to become part of Charlie, because we know Edgar possesses Dominic. We saw it in the Death Me game, and yet obviously his missing persons poster is associated with Charlie, and Charlie has the same attack animation as Dominic in the first game. Then we have Wither Jailhound with Terrence Martinez, his son, and Crystal Jones, a family friend who went to visit and ended up possessing Whitney. Obviously, we already know that the animatronics were originally possessed in the first game. It's just that here now they were kind of melded together, basically. That pretty much is also what is kind of like behind my reasoning for them being in the same suit at this point. Midas is a bit of an odd one, obviously. They're kind of the Golden Freddy of this series, the cursed spirit that doesn't act like an animatronic, obviously. So we may not know much about them right now. Possibly in a sequel we'll learn more about who Midas the Martian is. That's also quite an interesting name, Midas the Martian. In terms of the sequel, I did see a post from the developer saying that they might actually work on a spin-off game, or just a small game in general, may not be related to Farley's, before moving on to Farley's 3. So it may be a while before we see Farley's 3 come to fruition, but I am excited to see where the game goes, narratively speaking. In general, I did see comments about a story breakdown for Farley's, and as of right now, I'm probably going to wait for the third game, because obviously there's still a lot of unanswered questions in this game that will probably get addressed in the third game, and it's also assuming if the game goes further than a trilogy, right? I mentioned in one of the previous videos that it's possible that we get 6 of these games or just 3, so I'm kind of like waiting a bit to see what's gonna happen, if it's gonna end up being just a trilogy or not, and then, you know, obviously make a story breakdown on the whole trilogy. Now, I actually wanted to mention a bit more about Midas the Martian, specifically someone's take on who this character might be. Duncan Potter over on YouTube left a comment saying that their guess is that this is obviously the Golden Freddy of the series, and I'm in agreement with that. One thing I did not know, though, is that apparently the first game has a encounter with the Golden Freddy of Swing Shift at Farley's. Now, this could very well be Midas. I never saw that encounter in the first game. Apparently it has something to do with Camera 9 in the first game, and encountering this Golden Freddy variant, possibly Midas, leads to an additional poster. Now, again, I haven't really encountered this. I might honestly have to try and investigate that for whenever I do my story breakdown. But that is an interesting detail. That means that this is not the first game we see Midas. They're somewhat present in the first game as well, assuming this is who we see in the first game. Another very interesting thing this commenter brought up was that this character could actually be based off of Greek and Roman culture, specifically a figure by the name of King Midas. Now, the reason why they say this is that because in the myth of King Midas, he is able to turn whatever he touches into gold. However, part of the problem with this is that because everything he touches turns to gold, he can no longer drink water or consume food, because obviously anything he would try to consume would end up turning to gold at that moment. And so it's supposed to be some sort of cautionary tale regarding being too greedy. And I'm not sure how that would relate in this case, but the reason why this actually is a pretty interesting idea is because obviously Custom Night at max difficulty is literally called Golden Touch, which would reference directly to King Midas's Golden Touch in this case. Now, if this is somewhat a coincidence, that would be a pretty crazy coincidence, but overall it is a very interesting idea and could kind of give some ideas as to the origins of who Midas is. Of course, making this connection isn't enough, because even with that connection, we don't even know what Midas is exactly, right? Is he actually a spirit become into this form? Is he some sort of supernatural entity that isn't really related to like a victim of Farley's, but maybe just some sort of like higher power in this case? Again, just tossing out ideas, but Since we know that he has some sort of presence in the first game, maybe that could explain his origins a bit more. All in all, an interesting character for sure that hopefully we learn more about in the third game. So I want to say thanks to Duncan Potter for giving that insight, because I was never gonna make that connection, honestly. I would say the only other thing that doesn't make so much sense is the fact that this is Midas the Martian, exactly. The Martian could just be referencing this person's visage, his actual appearance, but again, at this point, not much is known about the character. From a gameplay perspective, I would say like the best way to kind of like summarize everything is that all these characters take their existing order FNAF 2 counterpart mechanics and kind of elevate them, make them more complex, whether it's putting on the mask and putting in color codes to take care of the junior animatronics, or having to watch out for the withered animatronics, whether they show up via your main hall or the left and right door in the case of Basil and Charlie, having to both use the camera flash and the mask for Withered the Jailhound, watching out for BB and JJ because they can take either your camera film or take your mask, and then even the marionette, who not only is about winding a music box, but also making sure that the audio from that music box is being played on their respective cameras. You even have smaller details like Farley Jr. being trackable via the camera system, which isn't completely needed, but since you can't see them in the main hall at all, it actually can turn to be a useful tool if you get into the rhythm of using it whenever you're on camera. But yeah, all in all, this made for quite a challenging game, especially as you go on through the nights, having to get used to it. It was quite a lot of fun. I would say, like, the feeling of this game, in terms of like the game mechanics and everything like being thrown at you, it reminds me of when I played Five Nights at Freddy's: The Golden Past by Fredinator. Chapter 1, like the way I would explain this feeling is like, you have Golden Past Chapter 1 with like, you know, 4 animatronics, right? Swing Shift at Farley's had what? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they had 5 animatronics, maybe 6. No, 6 animatronics, because Dominic is one of them. I think so 6 at the very least, and honestly that game was also pretty challenging. But then it's like, I remember when I played Chapter 2 for a Golden Pass, you know, they tossed all these characters at me. You go from like 4 characters in the first game, maybe 5 characters, all the way to 14. And I remember like that feeling was like, every night you get 2 more characters added, 2 more characters, and I'm like, oh brother, like there's so much to remember. And this game gave me a similar feeling, honestly, which I'm not like complaining about it. Like, it's just like it made me reminisce about when I was playing a Golden Pass all those years ago. And I don't know, in general, it was just really cool to see. And again, game mechanics wise, really cool overall. Pretty cool ways to innovate upon the existing FNAF 2 mechanics, while obviously still referencing the series, since this is a reboot of the FNAF story, essentially in this case, or a retake, I would say. But yeah, that pretty much covers my thoughts on Golden Touch. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'll make another video on Custom Night. I'm not gonna lie, I am tempted. You know what, if anything, I'll use this opportunity for one of those quizzes. I guess it won't really be a quiz, it's more of a poll, more than anything, based on whether you'd like to see me try Custom Night one last time, or move on for now, since I pretty much tried this for about an hour now. If anything, I might try using the quizzes as polls from here on out, if anything, because quizzes are hard to implement for me, I would say. Like, you know, in the way of a video format, it's weird to like make quizzes work for me. I got to make it work once, but I'm not gonna try and like constantly ask how many jump scares, you know, all the time. But a poll idea would actually kind of work in this case. Why don't they just do like a poll thing in video as well? I mean, I know you could obviously do a poll in the community post, but you know, it's still a form of interaction, and it's still video related, right? I'm pretty much asking, you know, would you like to see Custom again? So there'll be a quiz asking that, a quote-unquote quiz. So let me know if you want to see me try Custom Night one last time, or we can move on from here. But with that said, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, comment, let me know what you enjoyed from the video, and what you want to see from me. Great job to everyone that was a part of the game. This was great. Definite improvement over the first by far. Not just from, I mean, I know I mentioned his narrative and gameplay style, but also like from the visuals, like the animatronic designs, really nicely done. I really like this, and this, I don't know why I said animation style, this, the graphic style of the animatronics, honestly. The toys especially, like, or the juniors, right? Look at them, they kind of look like they're supposed to be plushies almost, if they weren't trying to, you know, kill you. And then, of course, you have the Wizards. The Marionette is probably one of my favorite ones. This one was just downright creepy and also kind of silly with that giant top hat on. Then, you know, the balloons, Astro, and Candy Cadet. Why you have to do Man Candy Cadet like this? Then, of course, the Wizards. I mean, obviously, some callbacks to FNAF 2. Overall, design's great. Really like it. And I remain eager for the next game. Whether that ends up being that spin-off I was talking about, if it becomes a spin-off, it could just be unrelated, right? I don't know where the game's gonna go, but, you know, and their next project. Let's make it more simple here. I'm excited for their next project. So, I'm gonna keep a lookout for that, as well as the sequel to this game, inevitably, of course. Of course, if you're also interested in seeing any of my latest story breakdowns, there will be a playlist in the description below. And with that said, I'll see you in another video, game in the description as always, and take care.